Farewell, arms, a cry of passionate words to a weary soul. Hello, everyone. In our busy daily lives, we sometimes think reading books is a luxury or something unrelated to us. We might easily fall into thoughts like, books are difficult and boring, or why would I, and nobody, read such things. However, a good book has the power to reveal truths about the world we haven't yet realized and stir up deep emotions hidden within our hearts. Like encountering new landscapes while traveling to unfamiliar places, books allow us to experience new horizons in life. The book I will introduce to you today is Ernest Hemingway's timeless classic, A Farewell to Arms. Just hearing its title might make you feel it's intense or difficult. But don't worry. This novel doesn't require complex knowledge or elaborate learning. Rather, it is an earnest and universally relatable story that explores the essence of human emotions, love, loss, suffering, and the meaning of life, through extreme situations like war. Just like the joys, sorrows, frustrations, and hopes we experience in life. Through this book, we will witness the power of love that shines even in life's darkest moments. We will also deeply contemplate how to cope with despair and endure the unpredictable tragedies of life. This will not be a rigid lesson in knowledge, but a powerful experience that moves our hearts and makes us reflect on our lives. So let's approach this together with peace of mind and discover what message A Farewell to Arms wants to share with us. 1. A story blossoming amidst the battlefield. A Farewell to Arms. Summary of the plot. A Farewell to Arms is set during the height of World War I on the Italian front. The protagonist is Frederick Henry, an American ambulance driver. He carries out his duties without a special belief in or patriotism for the war. Even amidst the horrors of war, he maintains a relatively calm and indifferent attitude toward life. One day, he meets Catherine Barclay, an English nurse who has suffered profound grief and emotional trauma after losing her fiancé in the war. Their initial encounter seems hollow and aimless, like a game. Frederick offers her comfort, while Catherine leans on him to fill the void left by her deceased fiancé. However, amidst the dangers and anxieties of the battlefield, their relationship gradually develops into deep love. They become each other's only refuge and escape, the strength that helps them survive the hellish reality of war. When Frederick is injured and transferred to a hospital in Milan, he reunites with Catherine, and their bond becomes even stronger. In the madness of war, the two find each other's love as the sole meaning and joy of life. They dream of a peaceful future together and promise to marry once the war ends. But the brutal reality of the battlefield cruelly confronts them. After recovering from his injuries, Frederick returns to the front, where the Italian army suffers a massive retreat and is on the brink of collapse. Amid the chaos, Frederick faces the danger of being killed by his own men. Eventually, he decides he can no longer justify participating in this meaningless, cruel war. He jumps into a river to escape and resolves to break free from the madness of war. Frederick, now a deserter, finds Catherine again and, to escape the war's shadow, they flee to Switzerland. In the peaceful Swiss countryside, far from the world's violence, they dream of a simple, happy life for a time. Catherine is pregnant, and they eagerly await their child's birth, embracing new hope. They attempt to build a paradise of their own, away from war and the world's violence. Yet life is never easy. Catherine suffers a severe labor, ends up stillborn, and eventually passes away. Frederick, who had hoped to start a new life with the person he loved after escaping war's horrors, ultimately loses the most precious thing in his life. Frederick, alone and stripped of everything, walks into the night rain and leaves the hospital behind. His footsteps echo the lonely, desolate journey of a man burdened with loss and emptiness. 2. Why we must read this book. Core themes and insights. A Farewell to Arms is no mere war or love story. It offers deep insights into the essence of human existence and life itself. Even if you think you lack knowledge or education, this book delivers important messages to us. 2.1. The meaninglessness and tragedy of war. The inherent suffering of humanity. This novel vividly depicts the futility and brutality of war, rather than glorifying its heroic or patriotic sides. From the beginning, Frederick lacks passion for war, performing his duties as a mere task. However, his direct experience with the chaos of the battlefield, injuries, and the disorder and cruelty of the Caporetto retreat instill in him deep doubt and despair. His monologue about how words like honor, courage, and sacrifice ring hollow on the battlefield powerfully reveals how war easily destroys human dignity. In our lives, we often face small and large conflicts, such as competition in the workplace, family disputes, or social injustice. We strive to overcome these challenges, yet this book reminds us that all such struggles and victories ultimately leave us with deep wounds and emptiness. Through the tragedy of war, it paradoxically teaches us that true peace and happiness come when we stop fighting and instead work to understand each other. 2.2. The meaning of love in despair. Life's only refuge. Frederick and Catherine's love becomes their only sanctuary and reason to survive amidst the madness of war. They protect each other from all external suffering and build a world of their own, dreaming of ordinary happiness. Catherine says to Frederick, "We must pay for what the world has done to us," attempting to heal the wounds of war through love. Their love is not idealized or pure. It begins with loss and fear but gradually forms a realistic, moving bond through mutual reliance in extreme circumstances. In our lives, love often becomes a ray of light in unbearable pain and despair. The love of family, friendship, or romantic relationships becomes our strongest force to endure life's harsh storms. This book reveals that genuine love is not merely joyful and happy but involves sharing pain and sorrow, supporting each other, and persistently seeking meaning in life. Love is proven to be stronger in adversity. 2.3. The loneliness and resistance of the individual. A small being facing a vast fate. Frederick's desertion is not merely an escape. It is resistance against the massive violent system of war and a desperate choice to protect his survival and love. He declares he no longer wishes to obey meaningless orders or participate in senseless violence, choosing his own path. Yet his resistance ultimately fails against the tragic fate marked by Catherine's death. In our lives, we often feel powerless before vast social systems, unfair situations, or unpredictable fate. When our efforts fail, when unexpected accidents or misfortunes strike, we feel despair, asking, "Why must this happen to me?" Frederick's story reveals the cold truth that even with effort, we face uncontrollable destinies. Yet simultaneously, it also shows the solitary, yet noble resistance of a person who chooses his life and struggles to protect those he loves amid despair. This makes us reflect on how we should protect ourselves and make choices in life's absurdities. 2.4. The uncertainty of life and tragic fate. Insights into loss and loneliness. The novel's ending leaves us with deep loss and sorrow. Frederick and Catherine, who had escaped war and found peace, eventually lose their child and Catherine herself. This starkly illustrates how life is uncertain and happiness fleeting. No matter how hard we try or escape, tragic fate can rob us of the most precious things we cherish. This ending leaves readers with profound loneliness and sadness but also encourages reflection on life's essence. We may one day have to part from those we love or face unforeseen misfortunes. This book teaches us to accept that loss and loneliness are part of life, and facing sorrow and pain head-on is true courage and the process of understanding life. 2.5. Hemingway's style. Short, yet powerful echoes. The iceberg theory. Through A Farewell to Arms, we also gain literary lessons. Ernest Hemingway is famous for the iceberg theory, or the theory of omission, where only 1/8 of the story is displayed, and the rest is hidden beneath the surface for the reader to imagine and feel. His sentences are short, concise, and direct. He conveys emotions not by explicitly describing them but through characters' actions, dialogue, and setting. For example, when Frederick leaves the hospital alone in the rainy night after losing Catherine, Hemingway does not elaborate on his sorrow. He merely states, "I went out of the hospital and walked alone in the rain." Yet these short sentences paradoxically evoke stronger emotions and sorrow in readers. This style holds significant implications for us. Sometimes, saying little conveys sincerity. In fact, concise and heartfelt expressions can deeply move others. Reading this book helps us develop the ability to understand the power of expression and the meaning hidden between the lines. 3. Message to readers. A farewell to arms. Intertwined with our lives, A Farewell to Arms discusses universal human emotions and experiences, regardless of knowledge or education. It offers deep insights into love and separation, joy and sorrow, hope and despair, and life's uncertainties. You may not have experienced war yourself. Yet we all fight our own battles. At times, it's the fierce competition in the workplace, conflicts within the family, or anxieties about an unknown future that exhaust us. In such moments, this book offers comfort. Despite its tragic story, through the image of a human searching for love and meaning in pain and despair, we find reflections of our own lives and empathize with ourselves. Reading this book is more than following a story. It becomes a process of introspection and contemplation of life. In Hemingway's calm yet powerful prose, you will gain the courage needed to navigate the complex world and the wisdom to endure the pain of loss. A Farewell to Arms is not merely a novel about historical war. It is a powerful question to all of us living today about the value of love, the tragedy of life, and the meaning of solitary human existence. The process of seeking answers to this question itself will enrich and deepen our lives. Conclusion. The truth of life we ultimately face. Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms recounts the horrors of war, the fragile love that emerges there, and the loneliness of a man left alone after losing everything. This book does not impose grand knowledge or complex ideas upon us. Instead, it truthfully and calmly portrays the pain and beauty of an individual adrift in life's vast river. Through this book, we recognize the meaninglessness of war, the value of love, and the tragic uncertainty of life. Frederick Henry's journey metaphorically represents our own experiences of loss, loneliness, and the search for meaning in life. He fails hopelessly before the violence of war and the greater force of fate, yet still strives to assign meaning to life through love. The final scene, where Frederick walks alone in the rainy night, leaves readers with an unforgettable, poignant silence. It is not only the protagonist's tragedy but also a symbol of the loneliness and loss we all inevitably face in life's journey. Regardless of knowledge or education, A Farewell to Arms is a universal classic that speaks to the truth of human emotions and life itself. This novel poses deep questions about how incomplete and unpredictable our world is, and how we should love, lose, and live again within it. The journey of seeking answers to these questions will itself enrich and give meaning to our lives. I hope this book offers you a small resonance and a moment of deep reflection. Thank you.